I want to dive a little bit into this meditation because as a leader, I think some of us understand the power of it, some of us don't. But I'm always kind of curious as to how best to meditate. I mean, when you're running and meditating, so you have movement, do you try to focus on no thought or do you do an affirmation? Can you just kind of lay out, teach us how to meditate that you do it?
Sure. Now, the way that I meditate is only one way to meditate. Let's go back to that unicorn. But the way that I meditate is to choose an interval of time or a distance. So maybe the first mile, or maybe I don't know, the first 10 minutes, something like that. Make it 5, make it very doable for someone who's never done it. So pick that first because that's a little container and it helps your mind not freak out and think, oh my God, I have to do this for 10 miles or, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So pick that kind of interval and then choose what we call an object of meditation. So that could be any of your senses, anything that comes in any of
Love
your
it.
senses or your thoughts. Your senses are usually easier, like body sensations are usually easier than thoughts because thoughts can be sticky and you end up just, thinking about the grocery list and all that stuff. So after you get some focus, you can work with that. So for me, I have a congenital defect in my left ankle. My bones are too close together. So there's always a little bit of extra sensation in my left foot that's not in my right foot. So it makes it an
Mm.
easy object of meditation. So while I'm running, I will point my attention, my mind, to that foot, and I will notice if it feels like it's hitting harder than my right foot or not as hard, how my foot feels in my shoe, if my foot is tingling, if there's, anything happening in my left foot. I also get really curious. What does left foot feel like? What is this thing we all think about as, oh, we know what this is. Well, do we? What is left foot? I also notice what we call impermanence, sensation now, then absence of sensation, movement of sensation,
Hmm.
changes in sensation, because that's that tiny little impermanence within left foot actually mirrors what's going on all the time. Everything is constantly changing. And so if we can be open to that in left foot, we can be open to that in the rest of our lives. So yeah, and the mindset that we try to bring to it is called equanimity, which is curiosity, open-mindedness, kind of a
It's interesting.
balanced mind, not
Yes.
reacting. So in this type of meditation, you're not trying to change anything. It's about learning to be with exactly what is in the moment, in this present moment. And then, because minds think thoughts, that's their job, is to think thoughts, I will be thinking about this next podcast I need to do, or the book I'm writing, or something else,
Hmm. Hmm.
grocery list. And then I will remember, oh, that's right. I had set an intention to meditate during this period of time. And I will very, very gently, most important thing, very gently bring my mind back to left foot. So it's a training, it's a muscle building of focus, calm, concentration, tolerance, resilience, done very gradually with little things like that. You can use your vision. One of my favorite things is the color green. I live in Central Ohio, United States. It's very green here much of the year. So I'll notice like all the shapes and colors of green, all the different shades. Or in the spring or in the morning, especially in the most of the year, there'll be birds singing. And so I will notice that sound. Maybe I'll choose that. I can use scent. In the spring, we have lilacs here, which are just wonderful, pleasant. So I'll notice the pleasant sensations. I'll notice, oh, now I can smell lilacs. Now I can't. And then wait. Notice if I'm like grasping, I want lilacs, because that can create suffering. And yeah, so that's probably a little bit longer answer, but that's how you do it. And the remembering and the gently bring your mind back, those are really, really important because we're so used to trying
Yeah.
to force ourselves to do things,
Yeah.
especially as leaders, we need to make this happen, which in many areas of our life, we do take action. We do want to be strong. We do, but if we're only using the exact amount of energy that we need, we're so much more efficient. And that's part of this process is learning that.
Wow.
I feel like I just went to school.
Me too.
That was so
Yeah.
helpful because I always, and maybe this is just me speaking it over myself, but I always think I have a very busy brain. And I always think meditation has to look a certain way or be a certain way. And I don't quite know how to do it right. There's a wrong and a right. And you made it simple and achievable, but while still lending credit to how powerful it actually is. But even just starting as small as an awareness of a sensation or a scent or something visual, and the whole key is focus. And I just think that alone was so helpful. So
Oh,
helpful.
thank you. I'm really glad. It's the combination of focus with equanimity. It's like focus with the awareness that, oh, I want this thing, and how that causes a type of pain actually, or the reverse. I don't want this thing. I don't want this thing, and pushing away, the feeling of pushing away. Whereas with equanimity, maybe my foot hurts. Can I just investigate what that feels like? Is it sharp? Is it cold? And so, because that's all transferable to the rest of our life. We're going to have someone that's unpleasant that we have to deal with, and we're going to have someone that we want to deal with.